Hockey players, are you looking for the perfect place to perfect your shot? Look no further than Overtime Hockey Lanes in Calgary. Whether you're prepping for the big game or just want to have some fun, Overtime Hockey Lanes has got you covered. 28th Street Northeast, Calgary. Training camps are opening. Hope you hit up OT Hockey Lanes to get working on your shot this summer. John Forslund, I'm sure he's been working on his shot. Television voice of the Seattle Kraken. Johnny, welcome back. Welcome back to the RP Show. Man, you'll be calling games in the National Hockey League for whom this winter? It's a lot, right?
I guess, Rod, it's great to be back with you again, and I guess for whoever wants me after all this time, right? So, first and foremost, the Seattle Kraken, and then we'll get on with some other projects nationally, but it's all good. I can't wait to get started.
I bet. And so as soon as the viewers saw you were coming on, the comments have come in like crazy. And where the heck is it here? Scott in Vancouver writes in. He says, I love how the city of Seattle has embraced the Kraken. A win-win. Can we start there?
Yeah, let's start there because it started there with you many years ago. You were one of the first to reach out to me when I landed the gig, and they were, kind enough to offer me an opportunity of a lifetime to go there. And it's been remarkable 3 seasons for me, the best 3 individual seasons of my broadcasting career. And that takes into account a lot, takes in almost a quarter century with the Carolina Hurricanes, which included, as you know, a run for the Stanley Cup and numerous close calls and all-star games in the NHL draft, and a lot of things done in the community in the Raleigh area that I'm very proud of. But things happened. I was given an opportunity to look around, work a little bit nationally, and a couple of opportunities came my way. And the one were the Seattle Kraken, and from ownership right on through. And really, most importantly, now that I've been there for 3 seasons, it's the fans. As an outsider, I think you'll understand it. We watch Seattle. We kind of look at how they follow all of their teams and how passionate they are. But until you get there, live there, and embark upon a journey with an NHL franchise, it doesn't register. But it's registered with me. They've been really welcoming to me, and I've loved every minute of it, and I can't wait to get started again.
Well, I tell you what, I love Seattle as a city. And the thing was, when the team was going there, for those that don't know, they were like, is it a hockey market? I'm like, duh! Seattle itself, Kent, Everett, they're a huge hockey market.
Right on. There's tremendous interest in the sport. There's a playing culture. There's Alaska. There's Vancouver right up the road. Extends in and around the Washington state. You got Spokane. You have all of this rich culture, and you have an NHL history that dates all the way back to the early 1900s, but still there's NHL history there with the old Metropolitans. But there's also a newness to it. And there's a new generation. And in all my time in the NHL, I've been lucky enough to see a lot of eras, right? That's what happens when you get old. You see a lot of eras. And what we're seeing now is a brand new generation of fan become the buying public. And the younger people in the Seattle area, especially, that I'm most close to, love the team, love the league, are yearning to learn more about this great sport. That's the only thing that's been, I know I don't have to speak to Canada when I talk about this, but in the U.S., the only thing standing in the way of the fans in the United States for so many years is just exposure to an unbelievable product, to an unbelievable game with unbelievable athletes. That's the only thing. Canada, it's built in. They get it. I get that. I love going there, love working in Canada, and love being accepted by Canadian markets. I hope I am throughout the league. But certainly in Seattle, there's a blend, Rod, between what's old, what's already established, and what's brand new. It's a little bit similar to Raleigh, but not really close in that regard. And then you have great facilities. We have one of the best arenas, if not the best arena in North America. An unbelievable practice facility, which most teams are getting to now. So it all falls into place, and hopefully, this roster with a new coach will light a fire again.
Sure nice to listen to you, John, and see you as well. And I got to say, I don't know if you knew, I called Regina Pats games for 20 years. So when fans say, who's your favorite all-time Pat? I say, all of them. And then I say, Jordan Eberle. You've called all those games with the Kraken. I don't know what's the best player you've called games for. I could think of a few, but Ebbs has to be up there. He is a special player and, more importantly, a special person, isn't he?
He's an unbelievable person, as you know. Unbelievable family, values. And that's why, he's been one guy that is an ambassador not only for the NHL over his years, growing as a young player and a Canadian national junior hero and all of that, but as he matriculated to the NHL, it was Edmonton Islanders and then into Seattle. He's been able to carry himself as he's matured each step along the way. And what's interesting to watch now is that Ebbs has become this elder statesman, so to speak, with all due respect, but it's all about Seattle. And he and his wife love it there. They get a beautiful young family. And now he can make the next call when Ron Francis reaches out to potential free agents. He can make the next call, whether it be this past off season to Chandler Stevenson or Brandon Montour. He's able to do that. The Kraken have yet to name a captain, haven't had a captain. Many franchises go through this. Vegas did the same thing. I got to think he's in line. He would be one of my picks. There's no question. We'll see what happens when they convene in the fall. If they do elect to go down that road and name an official captain, you couldn't have a better guy. His play on the ice he's an example setter. That's what you want. He's a caring guy, and he's quiet. He's quiet off the ice, but when he speaks, that usually means more. People that make a lot of noise sometimes, like me, you kind of tune out at times, right? You tune it out. But when you're subtle as an athlete, and then you have something to say, the team's mired in a slump, the team's playing well, whatever the case is, he has the right words. And he was such an impactful player in their first ever go at it, 2 rounds of the playoffs in year number 2. So they're lucky to have him. He feels lucky to be in Seattle. He speaks greatly about the city and the area and raising a family there. And that's really what you have to do today to take the next step to entice, unrestricted free agents to join your party.
Of course. Well, I believe him when he says he loves it there that much. And I love that they put this leadership onus on him. I don't know why the Islanders didn't want him, but I'll say this. Every time he comes through Sunrise, I go down to the glass and warm up. And they don't think the players aren't looking in the crowd, because he is. He comes up and slashes the glass. When I'm there, I remember when you were there last year, you had a purple suit on, John. I came up and hugged you. What, you and the Joker go to the same tailor or what? Do you remember that suit you were wearing at Sunrise?
I am the quintessential Joker. You're right. You can ask Eddie O about that. He'll have plenty to say, as he always does. But anyway, Hey, listen, we got to have fun, Rod, as you know. We're lucky to be in this business, but if you can't have fun in life in general, you're really up against it. So that's one of the things I get after.
Well, hey, enjoy whatever's left of the offseason for you, John. Good to see you, and I'll see you when you come through here this season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me, and keep up the great work.
Thank you, sir. John Forslund, the television voice of the Seattle Kraken, and, of course, from the NHL on TNT. We will get to your questions and comments when we come back, plus a sports update. Jersey Jim Behringer coming up in hour 2. We're live from Johnny O's in Boca on Game Plus Television, WQEE Radio, live streaming on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.